Do you ever think about the delicious pies we used to have but don't see anymore? In this video, we're going to show you 25 forgotten pies that have faded away. Ready to take a tasty trip down memory lane? Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Your support means a lot to our small channel. Now, let's jump into the video. Cherry pie. The cherry pie was more than just a dessert. It was a portal to the stars. Born in a small diner on the outskirts of Los Angeles, this pie was a celebration of bold flavors and even bolder dreams. Its ruby red filling, bursting with tart cherries, was intermingled with hints of secret spices that evoked the mystery of far-off galaxies. Chefs of the era spoke in hushed tones about its almost otherworldly aroma, a fragrance that seemed to capture the essence of a midnight sky ablaze with shooting stars. On a warm summer night in 1983, as neon lights flickered in the distance and the sound of synthesizers hummed in the background, a young pastry chef named Vince first experimented with a dash of star anise and a whisper of cosmic dust, a secret ingredient known only to a few. The result was nothing short of revolutionary, a pie that felt as if it had been touched by the cosmos itself. Patrons who tasted the cherry pie claimed it brought back memories of first loves and lost dreams, sparking conversations that ranged from the metaphysical to the delightfully mundane. Over time, however, as new trends emerged and culinary tastes shifted, the cherry pie was gradually consigned to the annals of forgotten delights, a sweet relic of a time when desserts dared to dream. Lemon meringue pie. Bright, bold, and impossible to ignore, the lemon meringue pie was the dessert equivalent of a glowing billboard in a midnight cityscape. Its tangy lemon curd was perfectly balanced by a cloud of light-as-air meringue, toasted to a delicate golden hue under the heat of a bygone era's passion. Legend has it that the pie's creator, an eccentric pastry artist known only as Lola, was inspired by the luminous neon signs that lit up the urban jungle. In her tiny bakery nestled in the heart of Miami, Lola sought to capture the essence of the city's endless energy and translate it into a dessert that was as vibrant as the streets themselves. Each slice of the lemon meringue pie was a burst of zest and nostalgia, evoking memories of late-night drives along sunlit highways and secret rendezvous in back-alley diners. The tartness of the lemon was a metaphor for life's fleeting moments, while the sweet meringue reminded one of the ephemeral beauty found in unexpected places. Although Lola's bakery eventually closed its doors as tastes evolved and fads faded, the pie remains a symbol of an era when every dessert was a work of art and every bite told a story of relentless optimism. Its neon brilliance may have dimmed, but its legacy continues to glow in the hearts of those who remember the magic of the 1980s. Almond pie. In the vibrant, pixelated world of 1980s arcades, where every beep and flash of light heralded a new adventure, the almond pie captured the spirit of digital dreams and daring exploits. Its filling, a rich, nutty almond cream infused with a hint of marzipan, was as complex as the arcade games that defined a generation. This pie, with its delicate balance of sweet and savory, was the brainchild of a baker who spent his days as much immersed in classic video games as in culinary experiments. Almond pie quickly became a cult favorite among gamers and food enthusiasts alike. Its unique flavor profile resonated with those who lived for high scores and late-night competitions, offering a moment of indulgence in between rounds of pixelated battles. The pie's crust, perfectly crisp and light, provided a satisfying counterpoint to its smooth, almond-infused filling, making every bite a celebration of innovation and nostalgia. Though the arcade scene eventually evolved and newer trends took over the dessert landscape, the memory of the almond pie remains a cherished relic, a symbol of an era when creativity was as boundless as the digital worlds unfolding on flickering screens. Raspberry pie. There was something undeniably rebellious about the raspberry pie, a dessert that defied convention and embraced the spirit of the decade. With a filling as vibrant and intense as a burst of graffiti on a brick wall, this pie was a tribute to the subcultures that thrived on the fringes of mainstream society. The recipe, passed down in underground circles, called for hand-picked raspberries, a secret blend of herbs, and a daring dash of chili that set it apart from any other dessert of its time. At underground art shows and impromptu street gatherings, the raspberry pie became a symbol of defiance and creative freedom. Its spicy sweet profile challenged the palate and sparked conversations among artists, musicians, and revolutionaries alike. Each bite was a reminder that innovation often comes from breaking the rules, a delicious rebellion against the ordinary. Yet, as the mainstream culinary scene began to favor more sanitized flavors, this bold creation was gradually overshadowed. Today, the raspberry pie is remembered only by those who dared to taste its fiery passion, a once radical delight that has now faded into the nostalgic mists of the 1980s. Apple pie. The apple pie was a masterful blend of classic Americana and futuristic vision, capturing the spirit of an era that loved to mix tradition with technology. In a time when electronic music was redefining the cultural landscape, this pie reimagined the humble apple pie with a twist that was as unexpected as it was delightful. The apples, sourced from local orchards, were infused with subtle hints of cinnamon and nutmeg, while a secret ingredient, a splash of tangy soda, gave the filling an effervescent quality reminiscent of fizzy pop. Bakers across the country began to experiment with this innovative twist, and soon the apple pie became a staple at retro-themed diners and quirky food festivals. Its appeal lay not only in its nostalgic nod to a simpler time, but also in its daring reinvention of a beloved classic. Conversations about the pie often revolved around its audacious flavor and its uncanny ability to bridge the gap between the past and the future. However, as culinary trends shifted and the allure of experimental desserts waned, the apple pie quietly receded from the spotlight. Today, it exists as a sweet memory, a reminder of an era when even the most traditional recipes could be electrified with a touch of synth-driven magic. Custard pie. In the midst of the glitz and glamour of the 1980s, the custard pie emerged as a dessert that defied expectations. With a silky, smooth custard filling that evoked the cool confidence of a new generation, this pie was the embodiment of modernity wrapped in a flaky, buttery crust. Its creator, an avant-garde chef known simply as Marty, sought to push the boundaries of what a custard pie could be. By incorporating exotic ingredients such as passion fruit and a hint of ginger, Marty transformed a classic recipe into something daring and unpredictable. The custard pie quickly found its way into the hearts of those who craved novelty and excitement in every bite. Its presentation was as much a feast for the eyes as it was for the taste buds, with each slice boasting a vibrant mosaic of flavors that danced on the tongue. At bustling nightclubs and art installations, this pie became a favorite, its smooth texture and surprising twists sparking lively debates about the future of dessert. Yet, as trends evolved and newer, flashier concoctions captured the public's imagination, the custard pie was gradually forgotten. It now lingers only in the whispered legends of culinary pioneers, a bittersweet reminder of an era when dessert was an art form in constant flux. Grape pie. Amidst the glimmering excess and flamboyant style of the 1980s, the grape pie stood out as an embodiment of sophistication and artistic excess. Its deep, velvety grape filling was mixed with a medley of exotic spices, creating a flavor profile that was both mysterious and indulgent. This pie was the signature creation of a famed pastry chef who graced the silver screens of gourmet magazines, known for her ability to transform ordinary ingredients into extraordinary experiences. At upscale cocktail parties and exclusive soirees, the grape pie was a coveted delicacy, a dessert that spoke of opulence and hidden depths. Its presentation was as dramatic as a well-rehearsed performance, each slice a canvas painted with hues of rich purple and accented by delicate hints of mint and clove. Diners often recalled the first taste as a moment of revelation, a brief escape into a world where flavor and style were inextricably intertwined. However, as the cultural tides shifted and the allure of overt extravagance waned, the grape pie was quietly set aside, its glittering legacy fading into the background of culinary history. Today, it remains a cherished memory for those who once reveled in its glamorous embrace, a sweet relic of a decade that celebrated bold creativity and unabashed elegance. Pecan pie. There was an undeniable spark in the pecan pie, a creation that managed to combine the comforting familiarity of a classic pecan pie with the raw energy of a power surge. Its rich, nutty filling was enhanced by a unique blend of spices and a drizzle of caramel that seemed to shimmer with an almost electric brilliance. This pie was the brainchild of a visionary baker who was as much an engineer of flavor as he was an artisan. Inspired by the burgeoning tech culture of Silicon Valley, he infused each slice with a burst of creativity that resonated with the era's technological optimism. The pecan pie became an underground sensation at avant-garde gatherings and local fairs, where its zesty undertones and irresistible crunch ignited spirited discussions among food enthusiasts. Friends would compare the pie's energy to the pulse of a live concert, each bite a crescendo of flavor that left them charged and inspired. Despite its initial popularity, the relentless pace of culinary innovation eventually overshadowed this once powerful dessert. Now, the pecan pie exists as a nostalgic spark, a fleeting flash of brilliance that illuminates the memory of a time when every dessert dared to push the limits of flavor and form. Blueberry pie. In a decade defined by electrifying energy and vibrant color, the blueberry pie shone like a beacon of innovation. With its deep, indigo-hued blueberry filling and a crust that carried a subtle crunch, this pie was as much a feast for the eyes as it was for the palate. Crafted by a renegade baker who had spent a summer studying experimental cuisine in Europe, the pie was infused with a touch of lemon zest and a sprinkle of pop rocks, a surprising twist that sent taste buds into a frenzy. The blueberry pie was a regular fixture at underground parties and impromptu gatherings, where its dazzling flavor became a symbol of youthful rebellion and uninhibited creativity. Friends gathered around old boomboxes, sharing slices while trading stories of lost loves, wild nights, and dreams as vast as the midnight sky. Despite its brief moment in the spotlight, the pie's legacy endured in whispered reminiscences and faded photographs, a testament to an era when culinary art and pop culture collided in a burst of electrifying brilliance. Yet, as the decades rolled on, this dazzling creation slipped into obscurity, its neon spark dimmed by the relentless march of time. Banana cream pie. The banana cream pie evoked the dreamy ambiance of a summer evening in the 1980s, where the sky blazed with hues of orange and pink, and every bite carried a whisper of nostalgia. This pie was a love letter to the golden hours of the day, a delicate balance of velvety banana cream and a perfectly baked buttery crust that seemed to capture the very essence of a sunset. Its origins were as humble as they were heartwarming, emerging from a local bakery that prided itself on turning everyday fruits into extraordinary experiences. Regular patrons spoke of the pie as if it were a cherished secret, a dessert that could transport them back to lazy afternoons spent lounging on sun-dappled porches where laughter and gentle breezes filled the air. The creamy filling, layered with thin slices of fresh banana, was reminiscent of memories long past, while the crust provided a comforting, familiar crunch. Yet, as the culinary scene evolved and modern interpretations of classic desserts took center stage, the banana cream pie slowly receded into obscurity. Today, it lingers in the collective memory as a symbol of simpler times, a fleeting moment of warmth and radiance, captured in a slice that once shone as brightly as the setting sun. Rhubarb pie. The rhubarb pie was a tart reminder of an era when desserts were both daring and delightfully offbeat. Its filling, a vibrant medley of tart rhubarb and subtle hints of ginger, defied the conventional sweetness expected of pies and instead offered a bold, refreshing tang that challenged the palate. In the midst of the 1980s, when culinary experimentation was at its peak, this pie emerged as a counterpoint to more traditional confections, inviting food lovers to embrace the unexpected. Originating from a quirky little bakery in a bustling urban neighborhood, the rhubarb pie quickly became a cult favorite among those with adventurous tastes. It was a dessert that inspired conversation, one that dared to question the status quo of sugar-laden sweets and instead celebrated the natural, unbridled flavor of its star ingredient. As the years rolled on, however, the pie's distinctive tartness began to be overshadowed by newer, trendier desserts. Yet, for those who remember its punchy flavor and nostalgic charm, the rhubarb pie remains a testament to an era of bold experimentation, a slice of history that continues to resonate with those who refuse to settle for the ordinary. Coconut cream pie. The coconut cream pie was a tropical escape in the midst of the neon and synth beats of the 1980s. With a filling that blended rich coconut cream with a subtle, refreshing tang and a striking cobalt blue accent, this pie was as visually arresting as it was delicious. Inspired by an influx of Caribbean influences in the decade's culinary scene, the pie was crafted by a visionary baker who sought to transport his patrons to a sun-drenched paradise, even if just for a moment. Every bite of the coconut cream pie was like a mini vacation, an indulgent journey where the smooth, creamy texture met the playful zest of exotic spices. It became a symbol of escapism, a dessert that promised a brief respite from the relentless pace of modern life. Friends reminisced about sharing slices at beach parties where the distant sound of crashing waves mingled with laughter and the clink of ice in tall glasses. Despite its initial burst of popularity, the pie eventually faded into the background as culinary trends shifted. Today, the coconut cream pie remains a nostalgic reminder of tropical dreams and vibrant days, a long-lost indulgence that still sparkles in the annals of dessert history. Fig pie. In a decade defined by its experimental spirit, the fig pie broke the mold with a flavor that was as daring as it was delightful. The pie's rich, dark fig filling, subtly sweetened and spiked with a hint of exotic spice, offered a flavor profile that was equal parts earthy and enigmatic. Born out of a desire to blend tradition with a touch of rebellion, this pie quickly earned its reputation among those who sought culinary adventures beyond the ordinary. The fig pie was the kind of dessert that provoked conversation and ignited curiosity. At underground music venues and quirky art galleries, it became the go-to treat for those who embraced life's eccentricities. Its unique flavor, often described as both soulful and provocative, captured the essence of an era that celebrated individuality and nonconformity. Yet, as time moved on and tastes became more conventional, this bold creation slowly receded from the limelight. Today, the pie survives only in the fond recollections of its most devoted fans, a vibrant echo of an era when every dessert dared to be different and every bite was a small act of delicious defiance. Mocha pie. In the realm of desserts, few could rival the allure of the mocha pie, a creation that combined the robust flavors of coffee and chocolate into a dessert that was both energizing and indulgent. This pie was a favorite among night owls and creative types, its rich mocha filling resonating with the pulse of city nights and the hum of neon-lit cafes. The magnetic quality of its flavor was undeniable. Each bite pulled you deeper into a world where sweet indulgence met a subtle bitterness, creating a perfect balance of sensation and memory. Crafted by an experimental pastry chef with a penchant for blending the best of both worlds, the mocha pie quickly found a loyal following among those who worked late nights and dreamt big. Its sumptuous filling, smooth as velvet and infused with a touch of espresso, spoke of long conversations, intense creativity, and the unspoken promise of a new dawn. While its popularity once electrified dessert menus and inspired impromptu gatherings at local coffeehouses, the passage of time and shifting tastes eventually saw it fade into the quieter corners of culinary lore. Yet, for those who experienced its magnetic pull, this pie remains a powerful emblem of an era where flavor was as bold as the ambitions of those who dared to chase it. Strawberry pie. Amid the glitter and glitz of 1980s pop culture, the strawberry pie emerged as a playful nod to both the traditional and the futuristic. This pie reimagined the classic strawberry dessert with an innovative twist, a filling that was not only sweet and succulent, but also carried an unexpected hint of tartness, reminiscent of a crisp synthesizer note in a pulsating pop track. The recipe was developed in a tiny kitchen where a group of young culinary enthusiasts gathered, determined to craft something that encapsulated the energy of their favorite pop anthems. Every slice of the strawberry pie was a sensory experience, blending the comforting nostalgia of freshly picked strawberries with a modern, almost digital clarity of flavor. It quickly became a favorite at impromptu parties and retro-themed gatherings, where its vibrant color and rhythmic flavor profile sparked both conversation and inspiration. Friends would reminisce about the long, carefree nights of dancing under neon lights while savoring each bite as if it were a note in their favorite song. Vanilla pie. In a decade where pastel hues and nostalgic digital art defined an entire movement, the vanilla pie emerged as a subtle yet profoundly evocative creation. Its custard-like vanilla filling, infused with hints of lavender and a secret touch of almond, was a quiet counterpoint to the boldness that characterized so many other desserts of the time. The pie was a gentle reminder of a simpler era, a time when even the most classic flavors could be reimagined with a twist of modern elegance. The vanilla pie found its audience among those with a refined palate and an eye for understated beauty. At intimate gatherings and quiet dinner parties, its delicate aroma and smooth, velvety texture sparked hushed conversations and reflective smiles. Each slice was like a soft melody in an otherwise cacophonous world, evoking memories of warm summer nights and the comforting embrace of familiar tastes. Though it never achieved the explosive popularity of its more audacious counterparts, this pie quietly carved out a niche in the hearts of those who appreciated subtlety and grace. Today, the vanilla pie is remembered not for its flashiness, but for its enduring charm, a timeless tribute to the art of gentle reinvention. Espresso pie. For those who found solace and inspiration in the rhythmic hum of city life and the invigorating aroma of freshly brewed coffee, the espresso pie was nothing short of a revelation. Merging the rich, robust flavors of espresso with a decadent, creamy filling, this pie was a tribute to the caffeine-fueled nights of creative genius and unbridled ambition. Its creation was marked by a desire to harness the energy of a bustling metropolis, a dessert that could awaken the senses and fuel the dreams of anyone who tasted it. Espresso pie soon became a clandestine favorite at late-night diners and bohemian cafes, where artists, writers, and night owls sought refuge from the mundane. The pie's vibrant energy, derived from its bold coffee infusion and a touch of bittersweet chocolate, resonated deeply with those who understood that sometimes even dessert could serve as a spark for creative brilliance. Although the pie eventually slipped from the mainstream as trends shifted and new flavors emerged, its memory endures in whispered recollections of nights filled with lively debates, soft jazz, and the electric hum of a city that never slept. Tiramisu pie. Turbo tiramisu pie was an audacious reinvention of a classic Italian dessert, engineered for the fast-paced, boundary-pushing spirit of the 1980s. This pie took the beloved tiramisu and amplified it, infusing layers of mascarpone cream with a robust espresso kick and an unexpected hint of cocoa that left a lingering, exhilarating finish. Its name, Turbo, captured the essence of a decade where speed and innovation reigned and where even a dessert could feel like it was racing ahead of its time. Created in a small bistro known for its experimental menu, tiramisu pie quickly became the talk of the town. It was a dessert that bridged cultures and defied tradition, a slice of indulgence that challenged the slow, methodical pace of classic recipes with its vibrant, turbocharged energy. Friends would trade excited whispers about its daring flavor and the way it seemed to capture the zeitgeist of a generation that was always on the move. Though its popularity eventually waned as culinary trends shifted, the legacy of tiramisu pie lives on in the collective memory, a daring experiment that, for a brief moment, encapsulated the relentless pace and exuberance of the 1980s. Hazelnut pie. Bold, nutty, and bursting with a flavor that defied description, the hazelnut pie was a dessert that embodied the over-the-top energy of its time. Its filling, a lush blend of hazelnut paste and velvety cream, was layered within a delicate, flaky crust that seemed to echo the exuberance of 1980s pop culture. This pie was crafted by a pastry innovator who believed that every dessert should be an experience, a moment of pure, unadulterated indulgence that could light up even the dullest of days. Hazelnut pie quickly became a sensation among those who sought a little extra oomph in their sweets. At exclusive gatherings and spontaneous midnight feasts, its rich, nutty essence provided the perfect balance of decadence and energy, sparking animated conversations and joyous laughter. Its intense flavor and audacious presentation made it a symbol of a time when bold experiments were celebrated and no idea was too extravagant to pursue. Though the pie's hypercharged personality eventually faded with the passage of time, it remains a testament to a culinary spirit that dared to dream big. Each bite a vibrant echo of a decade when life itself was a high-energy, flavor-packed adventure. Ricotta pie. Smooth, creamy, and imbued with a subtle hint of lemon zest, the ricotta pie was a sophisticated nod to both tradition and the forward-thinking spirit of the 1980s. Its filling, made from the finest ricotta blended with a touch of honey and a dash of citrus, was enveloped in a delicately crisp pastry that spoke of understated elegance. This pie emerged from the kitchens of a modest Italian-American bakery, where classic recipes were reimagined to capture the dynamic energy of a rapidly changing world. Ricotta pie became a quiet favorite among those who cherished refined flavors and the comforting embrace of tradition reinterpreted with modern sensibilities. At intimate family gatherings and exclusive dinner parties, its silky texture and balanced taste provided a moment of calm reflection, a pause in the relentless rhythm of modern life. While its popularity never soared to the flamboyant heights of some of its more extravagant counterparts, the pie earned its place in the hearts of connoisseurs who appreciated its timeless charm. Today, the ricotta pie stands as a subtle reminder of an era when the art of dessert was marked by both innovation and respect for the classics. A quiet, delicious legacy that continues to inspire those with a taste for understated beauty. Molasses pie. Deep, dark, and enveloped in an air of mystery, the molasses pie was the final, lingering note in our nostalgic symphony of forgotten desserts. Its rich, velvety filling, sweetened with molasses and delicately spiced with hints of clove and ginger, was a dessert that evoked the quiet introspection of late nights and secret conversations. Born out of a desire to create something both robust and deeply soulful, this pie quickly became a favorite among those who relished the beauty of a dessert that told a story with every bite. At clandestine gatherings and reflective midnight rendezvous, the molasses pie was the dessert of choice for those seeking comfort in the darker, more contemplative moments of life. Its complexity of flavor, marked by a subtle balance of sweetness and spice, resonated with the inner musings of a generation grappling with change and uncertainty. Though time has dimmed its once vibrant allure, the pie remains a poignant reminder of the quiet moments of introspection that punctuated a decade of relentless change. For those who still recall its enigmatic charm, the molasses pie endures as a delicious emblem of the 1980s, a final bittersweet slice of history that lingers long after the lights have dimmed.